Hello everybody, it is Monday the 2nd of January. Happy New Year everybody. So I want to talk about the man of clay, the potter, and free will. Where is free will in all of this, or how can we exercise free will? And that is really becoming the creators of ourselves, which is God. And as Jesus said, the Lord said, I said ye are gods. So let's try to become that. So if you go again, let's start in the Eastern teachings, because their definition of God is actually very good. And that is that God is both the material cause, the ingredient, he is the clay. But he's also the efficient cause, the agent that causes an effect, which is spiritual. Spiritual is that which causes an effect on the clay and creates new forms. Yeah? And God is also the one that has the knowledge and the skills to do that. He has got the knowledge and the skills to form the clay into a form, into a new form. Or just take a lump and make a form out of it. But that is the spiritual side. Yeah, it is the agents that causes the effect and the knowledge and the skills to do so. So, some Jews call us Golem, the man of clay. And that is what you were when you come here. Or when you still are. You are the matter, the body is the clay. And then who is the potter? What is creating you? And here is the spiritual teachings are the spiritual force that is creating you. You become according to the teaching. And of course, most teachings would tell you, well, we are the only truth. This is the only way. We will lead you to an outcome. Yeah? And I've heard so many that actually experiencing the outcome because they have been in a teaching for so long and they have become according to that teaching. And then they see the outcome and they see it as truth. It was always your truth. Everything is your truth. The reason why you see it in the end as your truth is because you have become that. Or if in the outcome, you're going to find a place that is your home, where you're part of everything else, then first of all, you must become what fits in with everything else. And that's what those teachings do. They create you. They will lead you to seeing it as a truth in the end, because you've become that truth. So then where is free will? Well, first of all, you must realize, I've just heard that, in the end it will all lead to the same place. Well, maybe at the end of creation, maybe over several lifetimes, we all end up in the same place. But right now and here, one teaching will take you to a very specific place. Yeah, different thoughts do not create the same outcome. They don't. They take you to different places. And you're going there. Unconsciously or believing it is the only way. But this is possibilities. They are different possibilities. So, what is the clay then? When you come here, what is the clay? The clay is your point of reference. This is what you are now. This is where you're at. This is the situation you are in. This is your point of reference. Yeah? You are not several points on the map, because that would be totally confusing. The clay creates one point of reference. The material, your material body, creates one point of reference from where you go. And from there, so that is, who am I? You are the man of clay. And then the spiritual path is, what am I becoming? That is a different question. What am I becoming? And do it so consciously. So to be independent, you actually have to my mind, you have to commit to huge heresies. But that's the only way to do it. And that is, first of all, you can eat from all the trees of knowledge. Now, in the garden, that is in the Bible, that was allowed. In this world, it is a heresy. Most churches will tell you, or most even spiritual teachings will tell you, stay with us. Don't go outside of this teaching. We will take you. Otherwise, it just becomes too confusing. You stay with us and we give you a clear path. Yeah? To the truth. No, to a truth. A truth. So that's a heresy. You can't go pick and choose from all the trees, but you must. Or you can. Say you mustn't, but you can. That's the first heresy. And the second heresy is to question the text. And that is, if you want to be the master of yourself, which a God is a master of himself, it's not a slave, then you must pick and choose. And that is go in the path of Adam and Eve. Ask the question of good and bad. Ask that question. Don't just follow blindly. And how do you find the answer to that question again? Here. You are the point of reference. You are the point of reference. And again, your point of reference should not be solely created by yourself, but if you love your neighbor as yourself, they must become a part of what creates your point of reference. Not just for myself. For myself, yes. It is not black and white. Yeah? It is not either not just for myself and for others, or not for others at all and just for myself, but for myself and others is a greater point of reference. That includes yourself, which it must. And then question the text, good and bad. And take out of the text that which you deem good and which will, you can see, will serve you on your path. Serve you and serve those around you on your path. And then out of all the pieces, you create your own path. You will create your own outcome through choice. And again, we become according to what we believe, what we take in as truth. We become that. So you are evolving yourself into something. You came here as a lump of clay, unformed, as a baby. And you're being made into something. And there on the spiritual path, you become the master of your own path, which, to my mind, you should be. I mean, if you clearly understand that a teaching will evolve you, create you into something, is the potter that creates out of your clay. creates a form out of you. If you understand that and you understand the outcome that that teaching is taking you to, and you're in agreement with that, fine. That again is a choice. But people are not making that choice consciously. They are being told that is the only truth, that is the only outcome, that is the only way. And if you're outside of that way, you are in sin. Well, according to the way you are, you're not on the mark, according to that way. But you're not in sin, you are in other possibilities. Now, to follow the path of a teaching blindly, in this world, it shows me that there's a big problem with that. And that is the text. Well, as I said, in the Eastern tradition, the text stayed very much the same, but the doctrine, the interpretation of whatever group you are in, they change over time. So, the path changes, and you are actually under the influence of two forces. One is the text itself, and the other is doctrine. And then if doctrine changes, it kind of affects your very being. Yeah, these forces change, and they affect your very being. Now, if you're in the Christian church at the moment, not only have they tampered with the text over time, but their doctrine changes all the time. And that is maybe why so many that are in this world at the moment feel like their very being is torn this way or another. It is what Paul said, being swept by forces this way or another. Because you allow these forces to impact on you, to form you, and then they tell you black is white one week and black is black next week, and they just keep changing, and then your entire being has been torn all over the place. But if you find the truth and you remain, and you make that your truth, you see that inside of yourself, you illuminate that inside of yourself, and you always stay your own point of reference, you cannot be torn by the changing doctrine of those that are around you, and they change it because, this interpretation would serve them a little bit better. They need a man of clay that is a little bit more like that, so they change the doctrine so that you become that. And then you wonder why people are all over the place and not knowing what they are anymore. Anyway, I think I leave it at that for today. So this is, I think, really, this is what I've seen. You may not agree with that, and that, you might still believe that one path is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Go for it. But to my mind, you are the clay, you were the lump of clay, you are here to evolve into a greater knowledge. And on every step, what you accept of truth will form your clay, and from there onwards you will see the next step. And then it will form you again. And if you stay inside just one teaching, it will do that step by step by step until you come to the outcome. You are the outcome. You are seeing according through the eyes of that teaching, and you see the truth. And you think it's the only one, and it's not. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.